Hey everyone, welcome back to the Brennan Breeze GunTube channel. What are we looking at today? Look at this insane thing, right? That is a Glock 34 slide on a Glock 19 frame. If you've ever thought to yourself, I want to have the longest slide possible on my Glock 19, this video is going to be for you. Or if you're just curious how in the heck I did this, why you might want to do it yourself. In today's video, obviously you can see we're running a Glock 19, the compact frame, with the Glock 34 slide, which is the long boy. If you need help concealing these, check out my other video that I have for that. So, who would want something like this? Well, if you've ever thought to yourself, man, I'm already running the X300 Lite, why don't I have all that extra barrel length to get some more velocity and then still retain the short grip, which is easier to conceal, right? Because all the rest of this just goes down below the belt line. This is the part that sticks out, and that's much easier to conceal than the 34, 17L grip, right? Is it practical? Is it overkill? Is it the sweet spot? We're going to talk about it. Probably wondering, sitting there going, why in the heck would you do something like this? Well, I just wondered if I could, to be honest. And that's why I do a lot of the things that I do. To be very clear, this is not a permanent setup for this firearm. This is basically kind of just borrowed together, so to speak, so that I could take it to the range, see how it works, see how I liked it, right? I have no plans on keeping it this way, but somebody else out there it might make sense to you. So what are we covering in this video? We're going to be covering the balance, the recoil impulse, and of course what it feels like to shoot it at the range. I did have some range footage that I'm going to be including here in a bit. So we'll take a little bit closer look at how this thing, how it works, right? So it's a Glock. This is all Glock OEM stuff except for one little piece, and I will show you what that is to make this happen. Of course, I can't show you how to take it apart and all that kind of stuff, but we'll get to the details here in a little bit. But it works and handles just like any other Glock. You use the same magazines, all of the same manipulation points. So, balance in the hand. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit front heavy, but I find that's more as a result of the light than the longer slide. And it doesn't really feel bad. It doesn't feel like it's some kind of, 10-mile long slide like it looks, right? It looks kind of absurd, but as you see, like I say all the time, if you're carrying X300, you might as well get all the extra barrel length so you get some more velocity out of your shots. How does it point compared to a standard Glock 19? Well, it points the same. It's on the same frame, everything's the same angle, etc. Why in the heck would somebody build this? I thought about this after I built it because I really didn't know. So honestly, the reason why I would think somebody would want to build this is just like I said before. If you're carrying a 19 with the X300 Lite, you might as well get that extra barrel length so that you get more velocity out of the rounds, right? On a side note, that also reduces the recoil impulse and or muzzle flip, and you'll see that here in the shooting footage. The concealability versus performance trade-off. So obviously the easiest part to conceal is the slide. The hardest part to conceal is the grip. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, so to speak. Shorter grip, which for most people, I wear a size large or extra large glove for reference. For most people, you'll be able to get, as you can see, my hand overhangs a bit, but I'm able to squeeze all my fingers in there, right? So that makes it much, much easier when shooting. As we know, this is not going to be for everyone. It might not be for anyone. I don't know. But the one person that wants to do this build, this is going to be for you, and I'm glad I can help. So we're going to go ahead and check out that shooting footage now so you can see how it works. You'll notice I had a different slide on there. I didn't use it for this video because it's not as visually appealing in one very specific area, and we'll get there here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and watch that shooting footage, and then we'll catch back up afterward. Hey everybody, I've noticed that about 80+% of people that watch the channel regularly are not subscribed. So if you like this type of content, two-way content, and you want to support me in any way you can, an easy way to do that is hit that subscribe button now and make sure you turn on those notifications. All right, back to the video. All right, y'all, so you saw how it shot at the range. How did it differ from what I thought it might? So obviously I had a general idea that it was going to be more soft shooting and less muzzle flip, etc. than the 19, obviously, since you're talking about a lot more steel out here. And that is absolutely the case. So you get a lot more recoil mitigation and or muzzle flip mitigation by having that extra weight out front, even though you're getting a little bit more velocity. So it's kind of a win-win. Some of the pluses, obviously extra velocity because you have a longer barrel, grip, easier to conceal, very soft recoil impulse. For the cons, I don't really see any cons to this setup other than obviously it might be a little bit more uncomfortable to AIWB, right? Because it's going to get in the way of your stuff down there, or vice versa, one or the other. But it can be done if you want to. I know that I can conceal this in appendix pretty easily. It just depends on your holster choice, right? That's a big thing. Obviously, it also depends on what you're wearing. But with this shorter grip, it's going to be easier to conceal. Other pros are if you're using irons, you have a much longer sight picture, so that should give you some more accuracy, especially out at distance. And the longer barrel is going to help you with that as well. So who is this for? I honestly have no idea. That's probably why Glock doesn't make it, right? But it's just another cool addition to the Glock Tinkerer's checklist, if you will. I've got some other really cool ones coming up, so make sure that you pay attention. Final thoughts in one sentence. Well, it is incredibly silly, but cool at the same time. Obviously, if you go to any kind of range and you pull this out, people are going to be going like, what in the hell is that? And sometimes that's more fun because then you can have those conversations of what it took to build it, all that kind of stuff. So speaking of what it takes to build it, it's very simple. So we'll get into it. I can't show you how to disassemble because, of course, YouTube. So I'll do that off camera, but there is a couple of key pieces. The thing you'll need is this little doodad right here. And what this does is it goes into your slide, and I won't show you how it works, but it goes into your slide, goes here, and allows you to use the Glock 19 recoil spring assembly, right? So you're gonna use this piece, Glock recoil spring assembly from the 19, so the shorter one, and you'll need yourself a Gen 5 Glock 34 barrel because the lug system is different. It's smaller, right? So you have to have this, and you can use that with your Gen 3 slide. Get your little adapter piece. I found it on eBay. I don't sell these, so I'm not trying to market here. So YouTube, no, I'm not selling anything. No skin in the game here. Do all that, and then boom, you've got your slide ready to go. Then all right, then you got yourself all ready to go and you're back ready to rock and hit the range. Anyway, that's all I got for you on this one. If you guys like this content, love Tinkerer content, and get to know what you can and can't do with your Glocks, especially for those of us here in California where they're all banned, so we've got to be able to do some different things, right? Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, you like, and comment down below, guys. I love hearing from you.